Well, to their defense, they did drop a pretty amazing Horizon Zero Dawn trailer today, or the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn came out today. That looked pretty baller. So, I mean, they did kind of respond pretty well, I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially Amazon, how they respond. Sony, Sony's stock took a massive hit after the news broke. So we'll see how that recovers.
So, real quick, guys, I just want you to know that we had no audio for all of that streaming, and I think I just fixed it. So,
perfect. I mean, I'm glad we didn't say anything good.
So, the one person in our audience, is it fixed? And also, Joe from the top. Let's hear it again.
Oh, God. All right. No, basically what Joe was saying is that it's an awesome, positive move, and there's going to be lots of changes coming up.
I want to hope for the best, right?
I know.
Like, hey, I won't argue. This is, my house is a very strong Microsoft house. We are an Xbox house here, children. So, there is a PlayStation, there is a PlayStation 2, and that's as far as we got in this house. But all that being said, Xbox and Microsoft themselves, all they want are those cloud subscribers, right? They want the people paying the residual month, and they want people tied into the hardware if they can get them. And we've seen with the chip shortage because of COVID that even that is going to accelerate the cloud offerings, because the Xbox Game Pass cloud offering beats the living pants off of the NVIDIA GeForce Now. I mean, just like not even a comparison. It felt almost like there's a device in the network, like on my home network, like I'm playing off my console or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So one of the things that a lot of people said is, they came out and said, we're not going to tear the communities away from any of the other, platforms or consoles. But they said the same exact thing when they bought Bethesda, and then Starfield console exclusive, Elder Scrolls 6 console exclusive. I could see them leaving Call of Duty on PlayStation, but I think everything else is going to get ripped back to Microsoft. Call of Duty is a big moneymaker, so they'll spread that love, but there's no reason for them to do anything else to the other properties. They'll just use it on Game Pass day one.
Right, but I don't see how console exclusivity is something that they would lean into when they're expanding the library. Why would they make the library harder to play when they have a cloud offering that is, miles ahead of Google Stadia, if that's even a contender, right?
What's that?
Exactly. It's comical next to whatever Luna is going to end up being, whatever Amazon decides to do with that, which, I mean, it looks kind of promising, but it's still, I don't know. I still don't know what it really is. And I don't know. I think it's in Microsoft's best interest to port as many of these games and get them into Xbox Game Pass, even if they're teasers, even if they're only on Game Pass for like a month or 2 or 2 months. Get these titles in, let these nerds get the experience on their Xbox, and they will go nuts and buy these games. And I think it's just a cash printing machine.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, Microsoft is console exclusive. They're console PC. So, they've got 2 big markets, and those PC gamers aren't going to get hurt by this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I bet they're leveraging this to go to Sony and say, put Game Pass on PlayStation or you don't get these games.
Now that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? Being able to log into your guest. So here's the thing. With Xbox Game Pass, you get access to EA, their what are they? It's EA Play. So you get access to that, but I can't go and log into Origin and play those EA Play games directly. I would have to get another EA Play subscription from them. So here we are now, our game launchers and our game stores are now our cable providers. and we're wanting to split those up, and how do we get them piecemeal? Well, that's how you end up with the Epic Store, and you have GTA 5 in 10 places, and all of a sudden you've bought 42 different copies of Skyrim.
Yes. Yep. See, I love to be able to buy one copy, right? And be able to play it on my console or my PC. Whereas now, like, it's, if you've got the PlayStation and an Xbox and a PC, it's 2 to 3 copies depending on what IP it is.
Yep.
So I'm starting to see some of that starts to be, or I've seen some of that in regards to the cross-play across platforms.
Yeah.
You see it in some of the PlayStation titles being PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Yep.
You see it a lot with Microsoft, especially with some of the games that were already compatible with the Xbox Series X and Series S, but weren't really marketed towards those consoles, are coming back with saying, yes, these are the cross-platform versions. So you may pay $5 more for the title, but you're getting it on both platforms.
Right.
Whether you have the last gen today and you're going to get the upgrade or what have you. So I think a lot of that is definitely more positive. I also appreciate the fact that I have the option to play console games from the Xbox Game Pass on the PC or the console, unless it's a console exclusive, which I think you're going to start seeing less and less of that.
Yep. And then Ubisoft, what they're doing is you buy the game multiple times, but you have one save file across all games. So I can play Assassin's Creed on PlayStation, turn it off, go to my Xbox, pick up right where I left off. So we've got the two sides of the coin. They just need to flatten it out a little bit. And, obviously, it's working because I'm spending $190 on a single game across 3 platforms.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But boy, you can play it at the same spot no matter where you are, on the toilet or at your desk. I mean,
I would play Diablo a lot more on the Switch if I had access to my Battle.net account, right, and had access to those shared characters. And I would play a lot more games on my Switch because if I had access to that, and some games are cross-platform like that, but Blizzard treats consoles like an island. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with, in the next 5-10 years with Blizzard games that are going to be console titles, and see how that island approach is sustained versus Microsoft. Well, we want to throw everybody and let everybody cross-play, which actually pisses off console players with Halo, because then they get smoked by the PC players who are pros.
Yes.
Yeah. Overwatch 2 might be the first instance where we see what they do if that game ever comes out.
Yeah, Diablo 4, Overwatch 2. And you speaking of Nintendo, because they're another player in this whole thing, and it'll be interesting to see what Microsoft does for Switch compatible games, or if it's just going to be another Xbox app on the Nintendo, maybe.
Or they buy Nintendo.
So the Xbox so the Xbox games run essentially as Hyper-V instances, right, of sorts. It under the hood, it is a virtualized app. That's how you're able to open and then close them so fast. And I'm kind of glossing over a lot of really complicated technology in that statement, and I fully apologize for that. But just with that idea of being able to run a game in a isolated sandbox on an Xbox, and then be able to take that same sandbox and not have to do any translation or virtualization and run that sandbox natively on the PC hardware is huge. And you have Apple going the opposite direction in that. You have them going from desktop chips, Intel, to their own system on a chip, the Apple Silicon, and you're already seeing the ability to cross-run apps on Apple Silicon and iPad, because essentially it's the same architecture, it's the same chip. So you have the two different places kind of going in different directions, but it's really interesting to me to be able to do that on an Xbox, because you're not too far off from being able to pause the game on your Xbox, pick it up on a cloud device, or your NVIDIA Shield, or whatever device you have that's capable of running the Xbox app.
Yep. Oh, poor Apple. Apple.
Right.
Do you see the news? Their AR goggles are going to be cut off from the metaverse completely, which I'm not sad about at all. Yeah, obviously, but this could turn into another Flash situation where the entire world's living in the digital world and Apple people are walking around with their silly glasses.
Because there's nobody from the Google Glass days are still walking around with theirs, right? I mean, I know some that are for sure. But it's that same kind of nostalgia or innovative new toy, new thing, new shiny thing, and then it's the 6 months later, it's not. You're the pariah of technology now.
Yeah, I remember reading stories about people wearing the Google glasses into like bars and stuff and getting kicked out.
Turn around. Out the door.
Right.
We don't serve your kind. We're sorry. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what happens, especially with the culture.
Yeah, Bobby,
how that
he's not going to
gone.
last. Yeah.
Nope, he'll be leaving once the transition is done. Now they said it before the end of Microsoft's quarter, which is June, so it could happen really from now until June, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how fast.
Well, let's not kid ourselves that Microsoft is they're no angels either, right? They have their own internal HR issues, and they're fighting a lot of that. Even in the past several months, the stories coming out about Gates having relationships or what have you. So yeah, I mean, it's not a situation.
Hunk, so
yeah,
I mean, right? Why wouldn't you be?
I let him cure me of Ebola any day.
Oh no.
I'm gonna leave that one there.
You just kind of move on quickly. Change the topic. No. Time will tell.
Trying to figure out my resolutions being weird. It's because my Diablo window is on the wrong monitor.
What is that behind you? Oh, that's your.
Yeah,
Battle.net?
it's like
Battle.net?
it's my Battle.net and it's Discord. Yeah, it's because the my left monitor resolution was being weird. That should be better.
So Microsoft now number 3 in the gaming companies world behind Tencent and Sony, but Sony lost $20 billion in net worth just off the news, and they're still number 2. You got to be thinking they're thinking about making a big play here now. I would like to see them buy Ubisoft. That would really make me happy, but that would never happen. That's a French company, so they just run away.
Apple, they could just be starting to go pick up all these companies.
Oh my God,
right?
they are.
I just feel like somebody at Amazon is like, wait, we built a game studio, built our own MMO, and buying Blizzard was an option. I feel like there's somebody there slapping themselves in the face right now, going, wait, that was an option?
What?
Because I honestly can't believe Amazon hasn't picked up some big studio yet. Like
they bought honestly, Twitch and then fell on their faces. I don't know what happened after
that. Right. Yeah. And then Facebook couldn't even launch a streaming platform that would maintain anything. And I don't know. I'm just a computer nerd with opinions.
Well, Facebook just shoots themselves in the foot. So, too much negativity coming out of that platform. Misinformation. Zuckerberg. And people just... How much did they pay those top streamers, and then they jump ship because they closed their streaming?
Yeah, and most of the streamers went right back to Twitch or right back to whatever platform they came from. And granted, you don't see Ninja streaming on Twitch with a gazillion subscribers anymore, but that, respect to that dude, because he made his money and he took.
Oh yeah,
he cashed out when the cashing out was good, and nothing but respect, man. Get that money.
Well, I got $1.70 of it, and he can't have it back.
Damn straight, man. We gotta fight for that.
That's probably what, like 1,000th of a subscriber.
It's about 30,000 views and like 200 hours of playback time. Got me like $1.70.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I start streaming a new game, there's a huge boost of viewership. But then as I stream it for 40 hours straight, broken up, it dwindles down. So like I made $1 the first day, and then 30 cents.
Why. I mean, you don't have a camera, you don't have any special effects. It is literally, you're not even narrating. It is literally just you playing the game. And to your credit, you watch all the cutscenes, and I appreciate that. As someone who's never going to play God of War, I appreciate you not skipping the cutscenes.
I do it for the people. I do it for you.
I have to watch the cutscenes just to give myself a break because I just get my ass kicked.
Nah, but yeah, I definitely need to start throwing my face on.
Yeah, you do.
I figure if I shrink the camera real tiny and put it right on the back of Kratos' head.
You just
wear
need to
a
find
green
a
shirt.
Kratos VTuber, right?
green shirt. You can see a floating head.
Yeah.
Persona. Just be Kratos.
Yeah. Bajira did that. So that's already taken.
Okay. Well, you do the kid then. Nobody expects the kid.
Nah, I am pretty whiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually enjoyed playing that game, but
it's tough.
Then I had to make the mistake of adding a water cooler to my GPU, and that just screwed everything up.
So what happened with that?
Well,
and which GPU was it?
The 3090.
Yeah, it was the EVGA 3090 for the Win 3. Yeah, it was pretty depressing. So, I got this idea of water cooling my system. Thanks, Mirai. And at the time, which was 2020, I got my CPU and the distro installed, and that was it. I was like, okay, I can't do anymore. I got to take a break. My fingers were killing me and all the tubing and everything, but it worked, right? And I've been running it, for 2 years. Well, I had ordered the water block and the back plate for the GPU a year ago, and finally, decided this weekend, hey, I'm going to put it together.
So how long has it just been chilling on your kitchen counter or something?
Oh yeah, under my desk for a year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been on the back of the toilet for 6 months.
Yeah. And so I think one of the mistakes I made is I didn't go read, right, to see, hey, were there any potential problems?
See, I'm so terrified of that kind of shit, man.
And so I said, the CPU went, pretty smooth. I didn't do hard tubing, so I didn't have to deal with all the bending and stuff like that. And so I put it all together. I did it all. It was actually pretty smooth. It was pretty easy. Nothing overly complicated, but when I plugged it in, I got the 97 error, which is basically, we don't see your GPU.
Yeah.
And this is a known issue that they know about.
And so I was like, oh shit, what did I do? Okay. Google. All right. EVGA water cooler, error 97. And then I see these massive, 96, 200 page Reddit threads.
Holy crap.
And it's like, oh no. So I'm just
lots of angry
I'm
nerds.
just scanning through it. Oh, I had this problem too. And so it boiled down to that this V1 of this water block. One of the problems is that the standoffs they used were slightly off on some of them. And so
exactly what you want in a precision piece of milled metal,
no,
right?
Yeah, exactly. And causes some shorting, unfortunately, right? So
just a little shorting,
just a little bit. So some people were fine because they got a good
some
water
people
block.
that didn't have shorting. The people who lived in more wet climates were fine. The people who had lots of static, we don't know.
Yeah, no, and so they did release a fix. What they didn't do is do a public, hey, these standoffs are bad, we're going to send you new ones, which is unfortunate because I would have gotten an email or something on it. And so they actually came out with a V2 of this water block, made some other adjustments to it, and then came out with the active backplate as well, which wasn't available at the time. So my backplate is just a solid piece of aluminum, I guess. Which is the part that shows, right? Because the card goes upside down when you put it in your PC. So you don't even see the cool active part. So that was kind of disappointing.
Dude, I didn't even see my tower when I'm looking at my computer, my monitors and stuff. I don't even, right now, I can't even see my tower. I could care less.
Oh yeah, my tower is smacked right next to me because I love to see all the RGB that I have everywhere. So anyway, long story short, yeah, it shorted. I submitted the support ticket for both, actually.
So it's shorted and the card is dead.
I can't get the card. I put it all back to stock.
Right.
Plugged it back in, 97 error. So it's
Oh,
either like one of the power supply portion of the power supply in the card goes bad, and so you just don't get anything. And then I did the support for the EK water block as well, and say, hey, I've got the V1 and this is what I've been reading and my card is toast. Send me the standoffs or replace it with the V2. So we'll see what happens. I haven't heard from either yet.
And you have the super warranty, so this is like not going to be a big deal at all.
Yeah, not a big deal. And from what I'm reading, most people have been getting the RMAs through EVGA because it's
such a widespread issue.
Well, they're an enthusiast kind of GPU company, and they allow you to add water blocks to their cards unless and if something happens, they will replace them unless, of course, there's physical damage. You reefed on the screws or something or popped off a capacitor or something stupid like that, then they won't. But for the most part, they've been pretty good from what I've been reading. So, it has been a while. So we'll see. If I do get the RMA, they say yes, then I'll just do the the ship and return option where they'll ship one out immediately.
Advanced placement,
yeah. Well, they'll ship one out immediately, and then I'll pack this up and send it off. So actually, I have it. See here. It's all packed up in its box.
Pour one out for it.
Yeah. Now, if they don't, then I'm out $1,800, which sucks.
Oof, yeah.
No, you're out a profit of $1,000 as you sell it on eBay.
Be an owner of an Era 97 graphics card. Yours for cheap. You could fix it.
Minor wear and tear.
Right. Normal usage.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'll do a water-cooled system again.
Well, Mirai, he publicly stated on the stream that he is sorry. So if you are out $800, you know where to send the bill.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's totally not his fault at all. He just,
and see, I freaked out when I had to go and replace. I had to go redo my thermal paste on my CPU, and ended up hulking my motherboard and having to replace the motherboard. And oh my god, I felt like the biggest idiot. So I can only imagine. I was losing my mind, going, "Oh my god!"
Was it liquid metal?
No, well, I mean, it was not. But it was that giant ass HyperX cooler that I had, or the Hyper 212 Evo cooler, which is a great cooler. But when I tried to put it back on after I got my thermal paste back on, I ended up hulking it and crushed a corner of the CPU.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And because Vector was the one that spotted the pins that I hulked, and it was like, oh yeah,
old man saw it.
Yeah, I felt so stupid and so bad about that. I was like, oh my god, But it was like $150. Got a new motherboard. The newer motherboard was actually better than the one I had, kind of. So it ultimately was an upgrade, but there was lots of stress and torment that I could have done without.
See, I was praying it was the motherboard that went bad. Like I screwed up the PCI slot. No, obviously,
because then you can just upgrade the motherboard.
Yeah. Although tearing everything off apart, that's the only problem with water cooling, is that if you have to take something apart, you've got, a liter of all this fluid you got to get rid of.
Yeah, see, that's what I can't wrap my head around. Is I would never do an open system, but I would do, I could see myself doing a closed loop system, but even then that just makes me nervous, man. I guess it was just too far ingrained in my young brain that water and computers do not mix, or unless you're just going to go dump it in a giant oil bath. That's the acceptable thing.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I was running for many years, was an all-in-one, right? The CPU all-in-one cooler. And I never had any issues with it. It was great.
Yeah, I think the next time I have to replace, because I'm back to using my stock fan because I felt so dumb that I couldn't. I'm really like, if I'm going to ever replace this, I'm going to probably go to an all-in-one thing just to.
It makes life so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It does. But it is cool to have you could say, oh yeah, I did my own build in water cool.
Oh, for sure.
Throw some pictures up and everyone goes ooh ah, and you can do the Mirai flex.
Yeah, don't put it on Reddit though. They'll be like, look at those angles.
Oh yeah.
Right. So many sharp edges. Literally unplayable.
Yep. Yeah. It's like I did a water cooling build and now I'm gonna kill myself.
Because I forgot a screw and I have to take it all apart.
Oh no, you're telling you count screws.
See, I don't have the patience for that, man. That's also why I don't own a 3D printer, is because I don't have the patience to tinker and dick around with it and like get it to where it's going to print super fast. I would have to be one of the people who buys one of the printers that comes already dialed in and tuned exactly for what you're wanting to print. Just don't have the patience for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't get a 3D printer because I have just dicks all over the house.
Isn't that what makers do though?
Yeah, that's exactly what
That's
the
what
makerspace does. Yeah. Yeah, there's penis cats and dicks everywhere in the makerspace. I mean, that's what happens whenever you get a large number of adults around, is they all revert into 12-year-old boys.
Hey guys, look at this.
Right.
All right.
So Joe, you found a new job yet? You still sticking around?
I have not found a new job yet. I am sticking around. It is just one of those things where, you're always seeing what's out there and that sort of thing. So
yeah. My buddy just got hired. Well, he's going through the negotiation process for compensation, but FanDuel is hiring developers, so you can get that gambling itch scratched.
I have seen some job postings from them, and man, that just sounds like a place that you could certainly go work and burn yourself out in like 2 months.
Yeah. They're I won't disclose what the offer is at for them, but it's very nice. And I told them, like, when I went to Amazon, I was wowed by the salary. And then after 2 years there, I was like, I'm 19 years older. I see why they pay so much.
You're right. Yeah. You aged 2 decades.
See, that's why I like working for small companies, is because, small companies, sure, they have their own issues, like running out of money. That's a thing that small businesses that struggle with, right? So,
oh yeah,
but it's also a thing about, my team is awesome. I work with some of my really good friends. My boss is a good friend of mine. I have lots of perks. I'm only working 4-day weeks right now. So that is, incentives to stay. And, I like what I do. I get to play with Linux servers and make them go really fast. And if they don't go really fast, I get to blow them up and make ones that do go really fast. So it's one of those things where it's a trade-off, right? It's not always about the money. It's about the quality of life. It's about the happiness of the work that you do.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to enjoy it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's always like, you want to see what's out there. And especially in our industry, where the only way to really get significant pay raises is to change jobs.
Yep.
And that's such a terrible thing.
Yeah.
And there's so much out there where where a business will watch $1 million walk out the door. And it's not because they're paying somebody $1 million. It's because Bob, who just walked out the door, has been here for 5 years. And he's the one who knew how the widget factory worked. And now nobody else knows how to make any widgets because Bob's freaking out of here.
You're explaining my life right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to. And the other thing is, me being a DevOps nerd, is, I don't want to be a YAML developer, right? I don't want to be stuck in a huge corporation where I edit 4 YAML files a week and call it a hard week. Just ship me off to the glue factory, man. That sounds awful.
You don't like
what I get to do. Yeah, it's like what I get to do now is I get to solve problems, and I get to spin up servers and infrastructure and play with different operating systems to solve those problems. And that's a lot of fun. And it's really cool when you can just spin up something and just be like, all of the processing cores. Yes, right here. So I can do anything.
Don't go work at Amazon. We hired a bunch of people for to do development for our networking team, and all they did all day was build Jinja templates and edit YAML files.
Yeah, man.
Day in and day out. It was great. I didn't have to do it.
I get that is a fantastic way to build your infrastructure. I'm a big proponent as infrastructure as code. I just don't want to be the grunt. I don't want to be the cog in the wheel doing it.
I can respect
I want to be
that.
the one planning the infrastructure and planning the redundancies and doing the failover and that
Architecting
sort of thing.
it. Yep.
Yeah, that's much
Exactly.
more what I'm into. So yeah, and it's really hard to go into places that are like advertising for like a full stack developer or even DevOps engineer or even any kind of staff engineer position. It's like, well, what do you do? And it's like, well, yeah, I do a little bit of everything. So what do y'all do? You know, how can I fit into here? So I don't know. It's the other benefit of working for small companies is being, you know, secure. Like I know how much runway we have as a startup. Our startup is actually going really well. We've got some traction. We've got some ARR. We've got some of the big startup buzzword things happening for us. And it's cool and it's fun, but it can be tedious because we're a small team. Everybody wears tons of hats. So yeah, it's a balancing act. It's trade-offs.
Yeah, that transition from startup to company, you see a lot of people get off the boat because they love that startup mentality, that startup lifestyle. Not many people like it when the rules come into place, the belt gets tightened, rules come into place, governance. I went through that cycle with Aptio. It was a startup, and then we became a company, and then we went public, and then we got bought out by an investment firm and went back private. And after that, I was like, yeah, that kind of sucked. Like,
Yeah. That's a wild ride, but yeah, that's a lot to put your company through too, from an HR perspective, from the whole getting acquired and onboarding. I worked for a company where I was running a development team, and almost every month there was a new company being bought or onboarded.
PGA Tour 2K21. My name is John, and my
In fact, just playing old man games.
Swinging that club like a pro.
As soon as it said PGA Tour, I knew it was Vector. I was like, did Crumb get some new weird porn? A very deep voice for Crumb's porn selection.
Well, I'm trying to get to the stupid sound.
it's Alt F4.
No, it almost is. Yes.
Crumb's just getting bored with me sitting at my Diablo background, not doing anything.
Oh. So I've been cycling through the nameplate cards for you guys.
Well, this is where we part ways, my young Padawan.
I'll throw those back up for you.
For you is to choose a difficulty level, and then
I just see the full screen zoom.
My player menu, if you want. Have fun, and I'll see you out there on the links.
Yeah, give it a sec.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, absolutely.
I lost my file, so I'm nameless.
Oh,
I think that's another Fiverr mission. I'm gonna pay someone to make us some fancy name placards.
so do I need to, I guess I need to move my camera up.
I guess I could adjust it down a little. There we go.
Yeah, see.
There we go. There we go.
It definitely helps when we both adjust the things. That's definitely helpful.
Yeah. Oh.
It's just at the same time.
Who's
How you know
listening
this
to
is a
those fat
professional
beats?
outfit.
Finally found all the volumes. Okay.
I don't think that was me.
No, that sounded like him. Like as you adjust
okay.
the slider, going.
Yeah, I was adjusting the slider. Yeah.
Okay.
So every time I have to reload this game, all my set, it loads all my character and stuff, but I still have to start over, which is just upsetting.
That's because, like you, your character has Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It's not laughing.
Yes.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh. So, Joe, did you beat Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero West, or whatever comes out here in 2 weeks?
Yeah, and I don't have a PlayStation.
You should play it on PC?
PlayStation.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's going to be PlayStation exclusive, right? Because that's what Zero Dawn was. It was
that's right.
PlayStation exclusive for a year. And the Horizon West, which is the sequel, is VR only.
No, there is a VR game also coming out, but the sequel,
okay.
yeah,
The sequel is not going to be VR only. That was like one of those things because I started playing Horizon Zero Dawn. A friend of mine got me into it. Was always talking it up. I talked to you guys about it. You guys had said good things about it, so I jumped into it. I cheated my ass off by using a trainer so I could just go through the story real fast and unlock all the cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going back through another play and doing all the side missions and stuff. The story was amazing. Game runs incredible on the PC. And I went back to some local friends and I was like, man, how do I explain to the wife that we're gonna have to get a PlayStation for when this expansion comes out? And the response was, you don't. You just tell the wife, hey, we got a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
I have two. I'm trying to sell my digital one. I'll sell it to you at cost if you want. Just let me know.
I think I might get murdered. Like if I disappear, that's because I bought a PlayStation. The wife killed me, not because I'm actually playing the PlayStation.
You do get stream discount, so
yeah. So, but yeah, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. Definitely late to the game, like I am with most games, but definitely beautiful game. I love the fact that you can put it on the oh my god easy mode and just do all the easy stuff and not have to like be gated through it, because I'm terrible at video games. If I can find a trainer for a video game, I'll go play the trainer just so I can play in god mode. I don't have to worry about dying. Just tell me the story. That's what I'm after.
You would love Control. There's literally built-in cheats where you just go toggle on invincibility, unlimited, this and that.
I think
that's how I go.
Game on like 4 platforms. It's like Skyrim almost.
It has been given away a lot.
Yeah. But what about Save Red Dead? Or Save Red Dead Online?
Oh my god! Did you see what they did? Like massive world outcry, and then the rest of like, hey guys, double money on blood contracts.
I also noticed that they triggered another Twitch giveaway. So there's another thing that you can go activate through your Amazon Prime thing through Twitch that gets you. It's like the lamest thing ever. It's like it's this free or this free, or it's a discount on a horse. It's like, we'll give you these two things, but not the free horse. We draw the line at free horses, you ungrateful fox. By the way, have you played Grand Theft Auto 5 yet?
Oh my god.
No, I have not. I have only played Red Dead Online a couple times since the last time the three of us played it together. And one of those times was when I actually broke down and bought the campaign because it was on sale during the winter sale. And that was one of the things I didn't have when we played together, that I kind of wanted to go back and play through the campaign at some point. So I ended up picking that up. Didn't get very far because Horizon Zero Dawn, I was playing that. So yeah, I definitely have some content to go back through, but it's interesting because I'm looking forward to the Horizon Zero Dawn, the West game. The sequels, the VR would be incredible, but it's still not enough to get me to get a PlayStation. Now you throw that with the Spider-Man games, that are pretty baller.
Yeah,
that starts to get pretty tempting.
And Ratchet and Clank.
I do remember the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Spider-Man games, where it was like 8-bit, 640 by 480, like 2 red pixels swinging through the air, and you knew that was Spider-Man doing 3 flips, right? You just had to imagine so much of it in the glory days of video games.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna mail you the PlayStation with an invoice, and we'll go from there.
This sounds like a terrible idea. Oh, the one thing I did see you saw the Xbox Series X refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
They made like a drink fridge. Somebody on TikTok realized that you could put your Xbox Series X in the Xbox Series X fridge. So you open the Series X fridge and your Series X is just right there. And today I learned.
I would like to check in a month or two when they turn it off and the condensation builds up on it because of the heat, and then they turn it back on and suddenly it's Vector's GPU.
Yes.
Melfius, you guys know Melfius Unstable Reality. He bought one. One of our friends saw it at Target and he was like, dude, I need you to buy that for me and I will PayPal you the money right now.
Yeah, that's a find. They sold out like instantaneous.
And it was only $100. It was like $100. So it was relatively reasonable for what's essentially a 6-pack cooler.
Right.
You're not going to be storing meat in there. If you are, you're going to have a bad time. I mean, maybe lunch meat, maybe like some pepperoni or
I
something.
could see that. Some sliced ham.
I mean, I think you might be pushing it with sliced ham. I think you've got to stick it to the cured meats, you know, the encased meats, if you will.
All meat cures me.
As it does. The healing properties of meat.
Let me talk to my meat guru.
I have a meat guy. Of course you do.
Yes.
You should meet him.
He works
No,
behind
like-
an Albertsons in a box.
And the box is always wet. We don't know why.
A jar full of brown pickles. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff. Elden Ring comes out here soon. I don't know if you guys are into the Souls type game, but George R.R. Martin said 9 or 10 words to the staff to guide it along. That could be a fun experience.
I mean, that's more than he said to season 8 of Game of Thrones, right? Or less?
Yeah.
More? Maybe less? I don't know. I've seen a lot of the stuff with the Elden Scrolls, but I still think the Elden Scrolls is very much games that I wish I liked because so many people enjoy those games. Like Morrowind was the last of those style games, or what I think about when I think about the Elden Scrolls, those kind of RPGs. I think about Morrowind and all of those, and then up until Skyrim, I want to love those kinds of games because that they seem to be what popular gamers like, and I think I'm a pretty bog standard gamer, but apparently not because I'm terrible at these games and I just can't stick with them.
So this is Elden Ring, not related to the Elder Scrolls.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is by George R.R. Martin consulted on it, but he didn't write it, so it actually got done. And it's in the vein of like Dark Souls, you know, the super hard, twitchy parry combat, stuff like that. It's a game that you would need a trainer on. Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I need a trainer for every game, so yeah, that makes sense. No, there was also a video I watched on the YouTubes that was like the 10 MMOs that you haven't heard of for 2022. And they were right on like 8 out of 10 of them I like legit hadn't heard of. And they were either like super, they look like anime, Japanese style, Korean MMO, like the super hardcore, like Blade and Soul type stuff, or it was like WoW knockoffs.
Yeah.
And, you know, they look kind of cool and everything. I just thought we were past I have to emulate WoW in every aspect of my game for it to be successful stage of MMOs, but I guess not.
Yeah. I think way back in the day, Mariah and I were really heavy into playing Korean MMOs before they came to the West.
Well, one of them, that was Blade and Soul and Terra, wasn't it? Because I played one or both of those with y'all for a short time.
Yeah, it was Terra. We I was getting to the point where I was copy and pasting text into Google Translate to learn how to dance and all that fun stuff. But that's back when I kind of enjoyed grinding in MMO, just mindlessly running around killing stuff. Like a lot of games have taken that out. Like Final Fantasy 14, you can't grind levels anymore. Like killing mobs gives you such minuscule experience. Like they're making me go listen to those beautiful, beautiful stories. But I tried out a couple new Korean MMOs just be like, let's go back to the glory days of me smelling like butt sitting in my own filth for a week. And they're not geared like that anymore. Like the grinding is gone.
So what are they doing? Are you just churning through more content, or are you churning through more games?
They're all set up like on rails, MMOs on rails, theme park MMOs, where it's like, go talk to this guy. I'll go kill this thing and then walk over there.
And see, that's what I'm all about, because I want to be led by the nose through a world and see the story. That is 100% what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm conforming. Not much choice.
I can get that. To somebody who would enjoy an open world game would be completely turned off by that, because I love Breath of the Wild, but I'll never finish it because it's so much effort for me to go figure out how to go do things. because that's just the nature of the open world game. They want you to go explore. They want you to go struggle. And I'm just much more of the fast paced, give me the abridged version and I'll be just as well.
Yeah.
I'll grind it with people, like if we were to group and do stuff like that, but on my own.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just no patience.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like 200 and something hours into Deep Rock Galactic, and a big part of that is because I was constantly playing 4 to 5 nights a week with other people who were also playing and grinding those levels, and that game had really good replayability, so I think that helped.
New World almost hit an itch for me, but when they gated all the dungeons behind items, you had to go grind. Not even grind, you had to run all over the world with no mount to go collect little pieces. That really turned me. I enjoy dungeons, instance combat, fun boss fights.
Yeah, New World almost had me.
Almost. It was so close. The logging alone was great. Like, I could be a farmer in that game, but once you start getting to that middle hump where it's like 92 hours to get one level, I was like,
yeah. But there's your Korean MMO, right? Where you've got to go grind and go do all that. I think that they took it to too far of an extreme.
It was really bad. Like the curve wasn't gradual enough to make me feel like I was eased into getting Rambonied. It was just straight up like from 29 to 30 1 hour, from 30 to 31. Like your kids will finish it for you. Like
it was harsher than like some old school vanilla WoW, like back in like the OG days where it was like, fuck you, go grind on pigs, and you were like, thank you, please make the pigs spawn faster.
So I like moved my cam window off the screen and now I can't get it back.
we can see your stroke though, so that's better.
Oh yeah, she likes that. Yeah, there's no like reset to
just delete it and re-add it.
Oh. Yeah, I could do this.
There you go. Now I see 3 of you. Oh, 2. Oh, you're changing the camera. So you have 5 webcams.
Multi-view.
Yeah, I only got 2. The 3 installed.
Oh, did you hear what Intel came out and said? Regarding CPUs,
AMD?
Yeah, they said AMD's in the rearview mirror. They'll never be in front of us ever again.
Yeah, I read that today, and I'm just like how
Cat's
always had balls like that though.
Yeah, how realistic is that though?
Yeah, I mean, 12th series is a beautiful chipset, but come on,
I saw a half, like, I wasn't sure like how much satire it was, but there was something to the effect of Intel finally matched the M1X chip, but it was like 5 times the power required.
Yeah, right.
It was like
their power requirements are definitely higher.
That's the NVIDIA method. Like, the bigger the card, just throw more power.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for NVIDIA, but shit.
Yeah, 3090 Ti is, what was the wattage on that one? It was ridiculous. 275. No.
Holy shit. I remember a 250 watt power supply on the computer.
Well, my FTW3 Ultra, I think, is 350 or 380.
On top of 450 watts for the 3090 Ti.
Yeah, 450. And then there was some custom card from one of the AIB partners that had like 980 watts.
Did it come with a Tesla wall battery charger? And you just like plug the giant connectors into that?
Yeah, it's getting a bit crazy. I think I have a 1600 watt power supply, but it is now 9 years old. So am I going to have to get like a 2500 watt power supply or dual power supplies?
I know that's
yeah.
Getting it.
CPU's getting smaller, GPU's getting bigger.
Right. So you start saving all this efficiency with your CPU, but it doesn't matter because you just quadrupled your GPU wattage, let alone heat, right?
Oh yeah, the heat. That's why I'm glad I have this giant filing cabinet PC case. Airflow is not a problem. But I feel bad for people that have micro ATX cases and stuff like that. Like you're not very efficient with those things.
Yeah, I went that route before. I mean, I built my little micro ATX. It was fun, but right, it's tight. You can't do anything in it. It was pretty powerful, but I gave it to my son, so I should have kept it.
You should have kept it.
But you're not going to, fit a 3090 Ti in one of those little small cases.
No, I heard they're like going 4 slots wide. Like,
yeah,
come on. I'm almost like, do you just not get to put anything else in your computer when you buy an NVIDIA card now?
Yeah, it's and that's
what else do you need though?
Well, like here, I'll show you. I've got this. Oh, I can't show you.
Yeah, show us. We dare you.
Oh man. Okay, I got to figure this out. Oh. Fine, I'll add it again. I can't believe they don't have like a reset position. I was reading you have to go in there, reg edit. Like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah, just
wow.
No. Oh, there you go. Oh, nice USB breakout. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and when I had my card vertical, there's nowhere to put it because every slot's taken.
Yeah.
It's covered. And that's kind of the only problem. Of course, I have my case isn't the biggest case, but now I can, and I was going to, but well, we won't go down that road again.
It happens.
So 5G cell phones, great breaking technology, or the thing that's going to blow up every plane in the sky?
I don't know what the big deal is because they rolled this out across Europe, and I don't remember planes necessarily falling out of the sky over there.
Oh, because that's metric 5G.
Yeah. So the problem is that in the US they doubled the output of the towers, which apparently isn't good for planes to know what
and altitude
they're at.
That just shows that pilots are too reliant on autopilot and stuff.
Yeah, me who's never flying again after this conversation. Look, I've flown drones before, and you get into some FAA territory and some licensing and rules and heights and where you can fly and stuff. That's essentially what's coming down with the 5G stuff. Is they're gonna have recommendations and guidelines on that you can only put a 5G tower this far away from an approach vector, and that sounds terrifying to me.
You saw AT&T and Verizon both said, hey, yeah, we'll lower the power output. T-Mobile said, double the channel bandwidth. We're going full bore. All right.
They got all that Sprint hardware still laying around. They don't care.
What's a few planes?
Yeah. Just build the planes out of Nokia phones.
So
problem solved.
Then they wouldn't be able to lift off. I mean, how are you gonna lift off?
Sure.
So the other fun plane news thing this past week was FedEx has asked the FAA to allow them to put anti-heat-seeking missile measures on their planes. And I'm like, look, Memphis is bad, but damn, y'all, we're not that bad yet.
Jeez.
So yeah, FedEx is reaching out to the FAA. They want to do something essentially like countermeasures on planes, which, I mean, if I was a pilot and, the option is somebody firing shit at me or not firing shit at me, I would want the countermeasures if they were available, right? So why not? I have a hard time saying no. Those damn spoiled pilots and their anti-aircraft missile countermeasures.
What's next? Surface to ground missiles on UPS planes?
That's why the UPS trucks are so big, is to hide the SAM that comes out of the top when they, right? That's how that works.
NASA has an astronaut shortage, so if you're interested, go fill out the application. Now's the time to live your dream.
I'm too fat, I'm too blind, and I was too tall.
Yeah, you got to fit in those little
Yeah.
man suits.
And I am all about some Team SpaceX, but the idea of Node.js powering me to and from space terrifies the shit out of me as well.
Like, hold on, flight scuttled. Got to update the runtime.
Somebody misspelled an async await. We gotta die now. Thanks, Bob.
Oh, it's like, did you put a garbage collection or no? Just fuck it, send them.
No, I mean it's really cool to see that all of this modern technology is powering these systems that we're sending humans into space, into low Earth orbit and such. It's just it's terrifying. You couldn't, like, people were paying to go up in Jeff Bezos' space stick, and I was like, no, you couldn't pay me enough.
Right.
I mean, you're not even going to try to land it on a boat. You're going to land it on land. I mean, come on. You got to be like SpaceX and land shit in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
On a barge.
Like, William Shatner is a very brave human being.
Oh, that was all fake.
Oh, they did it on the same set as the moon landing.
Yeah. Didn't you see the images? They showed the suits they were wearing, and they were identical. All of the wrinkles and everything were identical in both of them.
Oh no, I did not see that.
It was hilarious. It was
Nice.
hilarious. You
know?
There's always someone out there that's gonna just want to disprove everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're not real.
No, we're a hologram. Wow. So have you guys taken your daily cannabis COVID treatment?
I mean, as much as possible, right? Gotta stay on it.
I'm still trying to find my booster.
Your booster?
And that blows my mind, because they're like already talking about a fourth shot, and I'm like, look, I got mine early because I was high risk, but I don't know about this fourth one, man. Y'all are making me nervous.
Yeah. Well,
I played Vanilla WoW. I played, the Burning Crusade. It was pretty good. Wrath was great, but that fourth one, man, y'all fucked me up on that fourth one.
Well, the fourth one is to adjust the 5G microchip from the third one to lower the output so you can get on planes.
Well, and so your tracking device will work.
Right.
I still haven't gotten the password to my Wi-Fi that I'm supposed to be getting from the chip.
I just assumed mine was a managed node.
I'm no stranger to going full duplex, but I'm still waiting for this free internet.
I have a spotter.
Oh! Did you see the new show's coming out soon? How I Met Your Father.
How I Met Your Father. Yeah.
The first 2 episodes are out.
Have you guys watched it? I'm hesitant. I'm very hesitant.
I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I wasn't able to give it like enough of my attention. So I was like, no, I have too much respect for the previous show. The previous show I loved. I loved
everything but the last 2 episodes. Like, the way they ended it made me so angry.
I didn't care at that point. I was like, I got into the show super late. Like, I was in the second to last seasons when I started watching the show. So I got to binge watch so much of it. And I just had a great experience with it. So I kind of I have high hopes for this, but I also I'm interested in the fresh take on it as well. So what are you really going to do? Because it is set in 2022.
I'm hoping it addresses COVID. Because dating in this age, I'm assuming, is a lot different.
Well, in the first 10 minutes, I can tell you that there was a Tinder date involved. And
nice.
As somebody who has been married since before the internet, I don't know what that means. I just know that those are things people say.
Tinder is like Grindr.
It's like Grindr.
Swipe left, swipe right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is Mariah uses the Grindr one, right?
Yeah, yeah. He
Do I have my millennial dating apps correct here?
isn't it the my handsome farmer app?
he I thought he used Grinder while on Chatterbait.
You got to keep your options open, man. He's not getting any younger. He has started flexing and like lifting weights in the stream between the Zelda runs, and I'm telling you, man, he's just gearing up for the OnlyFans run.
Well, he should start putting advertisement for mops because he's making all those ladies super moist.
Right?
Yeah. He should do workout videos. Like
I've been telling him
why
this
not?
as long as I've known this guy.
Mm.
You're letting us down, Mirai, but I hope you're cooking something delicious.
Mirai's muscles.
There's so much opportunity.
Measuring meat with Mirai. There we go.
And it's all about like getting your boxed meats from the online places, and like how you age them or how you like prepare them, and you got to put them in the freezer a specific way. You've got to prep them.
We're joking, but I'd watch that.
I mean, I'm telling. I'm not sure how joking I am here. I think this is doable.
Oh,
Mariah keeps talking about like eventually one of these days I'm going to build him a website, and I think the problem is he can't determine if it's going to be like an OnlyFans or if it's going to be like a MySpace page.
why not both?
Yeah, that's what I tell him.
Only space.
My lonely fans.
Nice.
We can come up with some good marketing.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd love that.
Marketing is just some of the several different services I offer.
Hey,
Shitty
here's
marketing
something.
tips.
Here's something we can talk about. So we were all pretty distraught when multi-boxing was basically killed in WoW. But now, if you heard this, Crumb, that Muffin is now a Blizzard employee. And so
he's going to work on their internal tools team, from what I understand.
Their internal corporate
Interesting
applications. Yeah, so now we have an in now, and we'll just keep pestering him.
How long has he been there? Because it takes about 2 weeks before you're allowed to bother the CEO. I heard. No, he might not want to bother. He might not want to bother Bobby because he might be turned into a hand puppet in the bathroom or something.
He just announced,
think there's any.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's any chance in hell they're ever going to undo that. I think, unfortunately, the time has passed because the people who are going to make that decision at Microsoft are so far removed from it. They're going to be like, "That's dumb. Why would we want to do that?"
Yeah, but it's funny.
Or why was it removed? That's stupid.
But when you see it brought up in the communities now, people will be like, "Well, is your life better now that it's gone?" They're like, "Oh, actually, no." So, yeah. Well,
right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So much money over how many years? 12 years, 13. I don't know how long were we multi-boxing.
I went and did the math. So I canceled 5 accounts. So when they made that announcement, it was right before the most recent expansion came out, and I had pre-ordered 5 of the, not the collector's edition, but like the digital deluxe edition or whatever. Right. So it was like the $60 version or whatever. So 5
for the free boost, right?
Right, for the free boost. So 5 subscriptions, 5 upgrades, 5 monthly subscriptions that I've been paying for like 6 or 7 months at that time. And they did that change, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. And like everybody in the community just took it and was like distraught and upset. And I was like, you know what? They're telling us to fuck off, and I'm not going to mess around. And ultimately, they weren't necessarily telling us all to fuck off. They were telling all of the people who were doing the standstill farming to fuck off, because
right.
You still see tons of multi-boxers around, and they're either the botters who are just multi-boxing bots, or it's the people who are still trying to do some kind of standstill farming, or you have the very few left now that are just legitimately trying to go multi-box and have fun and go do their dailies and go make their auction house money, that sort of thing. But the community has been turned against them by so many of the popular streamers and influencer bullshit. And it's really unfortunate that they destroyed a really large subset of the player base over this. But also, compared to the money that I was spending on WoW and the year after, I actually spent more money because I bought an Xbox and I bought shit tons of Xbox games. I bought all kinds of Steam games. I bought, some other kinds of, I bought Switch games and shit. So it's like literally I stopped paying Blizzard, a large chunk of change per year, and I just gave it to Microsoft and Nintendo.
Who
And
now owns Blizzard? So
right, which I'm okay with.
yeah,
All of the innovation and what made Blizzard is long gone out of that place. As much as I hate it, they're not going to make another game that is going to have the effect that Warcraft or WoW had on me as a gamer. But also, I don't necessarily know that I want that, right? I don't need a game I'm going to go dump 100 hours a week into.
I don't have time, right?
Not retain my mental health anyway.
Right.
So for like, one instance, it's really interesting to be like, yeah, I don't have that drive to go play vanilla or the BC servers or everything, because for me, that's a solved.
Not at all.
Like, I've already played that game. That's a solved equation. And I get the people who are just like, yeah, but I can go game that system now because I know all of the cheat codes and I know what the specs are. And I'm like, you go do that. I am very much in favor of you going and having a good time and playing, do what makes you happy. And I'm not going to hate on it. I might hate on that golf slice you just did there, but not on the fact that you're playing a golf game.
Hey, I'm on the fringe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get back into multi-boxing in anything. It's just so much effort and learning and trial and error, and I am lazy. I don't have much time to game, so I want to just jump into something that's fun and do it.
That's where I'm at, right? It's like I can want to spend, I have 30 minutes of attention that I can give to a game, right? After spending, 8 to 10 hours in front of a computer just for work. It's like,
right,
most of the time I don't want to sit back down and in front of the computer.
I do the Netflix thing now. I'll sit down and scroll through my Steam library for an hour and a half, not play anything, and then go to bed.
Yeah, I have also done that a few times. Almost as bad as doom scrolling on social media.
Yeah, I've kind of broke that. Reddit still slides in every once in a while. I get into a Reddit hole. But generally, I just go lay in bed and watch Big Bang Theory and cry. And, that's my night.
I mean, if you ever want to stop crying, you just pick a better show, really. I mean, just take that depression right out of there.
So there was a show on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you both watch it. It's called The Brew Brothers. It's about two brothers that run a brewery. It's made by the same guys that made The League. So wow. I give it 6 thumbs up.
Nice.
Give you the insights of brewing?
No, it's a straight up comedy.
Oh, just straight up.
Yeah, straight up. It's The League, but brewing beer instead of fantasy football.
Nice.
Yeah. Warning. There's a lot of sexual innuendos in case any of you are thinking of becoming Amish or something.
That's why you like it. Oh, I just got almost a hole in one.
So close. I like how you're like 3 inches away and it says 2 feet.
It's bigger online.
So
resolution.
All right. What's the next topic?
Let's see here. Do you think Elon Musk is mining Dogecoin and that's why he's so hardcore into it, or is he really all about crypto?
All I know is that
the
price is terrible still.
Everything's down. Everything. Yeah.
He is a troll.
He's a
fantastic troll. So be fucking careful, man.
Yeah,
I have a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
exactly.
100 something billion. He doesn't care.
Yeah. And all these like tech bros are like, yeah. And I'm like, no. I hate the god, the hero worship, the god complex that people give these they idolize people, and it just turns into this hero worship, and it's gross. It's like, look, I was a huge SpaceX fan because of what they were doing, not because it was just some dude who got rich off of PayPal was wanting to go fly rockets, right? They were actually building reusable, relaunchable spacecraft. That's a pretty big fucking deal. But it's not about Elon. I mean, anybody with enough money could have done what he's done, but it's not, don't worship the dude. Let's get behind the science and what we're able to do now because of the advancements.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just don't trust anyone that has hair plugs.
Just goes to show you that that baldness is a poor man's disease.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unless you're oh god, Patrick Stewart.
Well, sure.
He's the only one.
Right.
He's the only one that would get it that is bald.
At his Picard season starts in March. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, that's a long gap.
Yeah, well, I think they had to keep him out of any COVID possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Did you guys watch? What was it? The new Star Trek Discovery.
Discovery. Oh yeah, been watching.
I watched the first season because I kind of have to do Star Trek content in bursts. And I watched the first season. It was fantastic. And the story was just maybe I watched the first 2 seasons, but I got past the first, holy shit, that dude was really that dude. And it was really awesome, but I just didn't get back to it.
Yeah. I'd be interested to talk about this once you see it. Have you watched all, I think there's 4 seasons now, right?
Yes. Fourth season watching now. Right.
My chief complaint, I love the show. Great stories. Everything feels new and original, but I feel like it's not a show about Star Trek. I feel like it's a show solely about the captain, and I think the story suffers from it from time. Season 3 was really bad. Season 4 kind of redeemed itself, but yeah, it's great. If you haven't seen season 2, I think that's my favorite by far.
And I think that them focusing on the captain is them trying to less organically find the next Picard or Kirk or what have you, right? Because the ones that have come since haven't really left a big standing mark like they have. Scott, you don't think Scott Bakula, right? Because he was in one of the Star Trek series.
Yeah, Enterprise. Yeah.
Well, Captain Sisko says, "Fuck you." No, I think you're 100% right, and there's a lot of potential this way, especially what they did with Spock and that whole dynamic. It really kind of made you like the captain as a human versus Captain Picard was just sexy and you loved it. But he really didn't do much for the show. He was just so awesome he didn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Whereas Shatner was banging every alien that he ran into.
Every single one of them. First contact protocols.
Yes, first contact and then a med bay contact to get checked out.
Just to follow up.
But it's really good. Have you guys finished The Expanse yet, or gotten all caught up?
Nope.
I have not.
I am further along. For a long time, I had only watched the first season, but I have now watched the second season. So I'm more motivated. I seriously bounce back and forth between shows if that's not obvious by now.
A list. It's like this long list of shows, right?
Yeah.
You can't even see my hands. It's so long.
I tell you what, the book of Boba Fett.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh,
great.
It's so good. 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
The fourth. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. So much world building and so many other backgrounds. It's just incredible.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Watch The Eternals?
Yes.
Haven't yet, but I am. I guess I'm the odd one out here.
Well,
where I don't watch all of the stuff super.
The wife and I watched it last night, and she loved it. And she looked over at me, and she's like, "I can tell you're not enjoying yourself." And I was like, "Oh, it's 2.5 hours of people standing around staring at each other. Like, what's going on?"
It was
here?
a lot of that.
I am becoming less and less enamored with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As a big fan of the comics, like in the beginning, there was a slight gap between the stories, and it's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger as they do their own thing, which is great. but I truly love the source material. But some of the stuff they're doing in the universe, knowing what went on in the comics, I'm just like, I just don't like it. I like the other one better.
I feel like that is. I ran into that with Endgame. That was kind of like,
yeah,
like I loved Endgame, but everything after that felt contrived and just to keep the machine moving. And the stories are great. You're expanding the universe and you're going to inspire kids and people, for however many generations to come. That's fantastic. Don't let me, the crotchety old white dude, deter you from doing that, right? But at the same time, this isn't my Stan Lee and this isn't my Spider-Man, but that's also freaking awesome. The new Spider-Man movies have been incredible.
they have, absolutely.
And, I mean, really, really great. And the DC movies are finally starting to come around, but I don't know, maybe it's just the oversaturation of the Marvel universe, because you've got to watch all the movies, you've got to see all the TV shows, you've got to see all of the offshoot TV shows, and if you're not going to know what's going on. And like, my sister is all about it. She is like, she's on all the new shows, all of that, and she's like, yeah, have you seen this, and this? And I'm like, I like what you said. I appreciate the source material. I appreciate what they're doing, especially the What If series, how they're literally throwing everything upside down and just being like, yeah, what if this? And you're challenging a lot of the norms and you're angering a lot of the old nerds as well. And I think that's good. I think it's good to ruffle feathers like that.
Yeah. Speaking of the DC universe, have you seen the 2 series on HBO Max, Doom Patrol and Titans?
I have watched.
I have not seen either of those.
So amazing. In the first episode of Titans, Robin says, fuck Batman. That right there lets you know it's an amazing show.
Oh, hell yes. What about Peacemaker?
I have not
I
seen
haven't watched. I
No.
haven't watched the
John
Peacemaker
Cena
yet. Yeah,
as Peacemaker,
Is it?
incredible.
Okay,
I
I'm
love it.
I'll add it to the
maybe
list.
maybe I just love John Cena and I'm not even that big of a wrestling fan, but
We share the
I
same
love-
birthday, so I'm practically John Cena.
that's true.
I mean, almost splitting image.
Yeah. I don't have the chin. That's where it falls apart. But I hide it with a homeless beard.
You work with what you've got, right? No, Peacemaker TV show, fantastic.
Okay.
If you liked Peacemaker in the latest Suicide Squad movie,
Yes.
you're gonna love. It's just more of the same, which may be bad, maybe good.
Oh, I loved it.
I think it's great.
I'm really looking forward to the Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League, because it
Yeah, I wanna
feels
see
like
that.
those movies.
Let's play that.
Like, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just something about a giant shark god killing people that I enjoy.
So the Harley Quinn animated series had the King Shark character, but his name was something else, and it was a different voice actor. Holy crap, I fell in love with that character so much in the animated series. And then when he was in the most recent Suicide Squad movie, I think it was a different character name, but it was essentially the same role or character. It was so awesome. It was really great to see that character live action.
Yeah. But yeah, add Titans and Doom Squad to the bottom of whatever list you're rolling with. They are the adult shows made for the DC universe. They're gruesome, they're brutal, they're edgelordy, which I really relate with as an edgelord myself. They're just fantastic, top notch.
I'll add them to the list. I don't think I've watched an episode yet of that one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's Teen Titans without the teens. So
right.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, Doom Patrol is great. Like when you're entering a donkey's orifices to track down a mystic evil man, like you've got me. Like you don't have to. I'm sold.
It's like if Damian's writing a script, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Just they went in through the mouth. I would have went the other way. That's just creative differences, though.
Right. We can add that in post.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Let's see here.
Let's see. What are the next movie releases since they keep changing them? Ghostbusters Afterlife was great. I liked it.
Oh, it was what we needed. Yeah.
I loved it. I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
Some people are like didn't get it, and I was just like, I don't know. I thought it was great.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Free Guy was funny.
Free Guy was amazing. I loved that movie.
That's where he's like the video game character. He's
Yeah.
like a PC or something.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's really really well done.
Yeah, the dude, the evil boss at the end that wasn't fully programmed was just the icing on the cake. Where he's like hits him was like insert catchphrase.
I played that PTR.
Let's see if there's any. If you like documentaries, The Alpinist was phenomenal. That's on Netflix.
I don't think I've seen that.
And 14 Peaks, phenomenal. It's on Netflix as well.
I started 14 Peaks. I haven't finished it yet, though.
There's just some remarkable people out there that are crazy. They're just
That is a true statement.
they're just nuts.
If you're looking for some good fun on Netflix, there is 2 Bear Grylls Man vs. Wild interactive shows. You cannot make him drink his own pee. I tried. It doesn't exist, so
Then why bother?
just setting
Yeah,
expectations now. Yeah.
Oh no.
Good to know I can skip that one.
Yeah.
I won't lie though. There was a period in the pandemic that Naked and Afraid was some pretty amazing like news avoiding binge watching TV. Those people were so dumb.
Yeah, and like what was the Naked and Afraid like plus size or something like that? And I was like, now they're just being mean.
Right. Now y'all are just throwing Bubba in the forest to be mean.
Like unnecessary.
Yeah. I did appreciate the fact that they would like give people like 4 or 5 chances. Like this person's tried 4 times and they haven't gotten it yet, but we're gonna watch them fuck it up again.
The show Alone, I think it's called, where 10 people get dropped off in northern Canada by themselves. You got to last like 60 days with like a toothbrush and a spool of dental floss.
I'm just not interested in doing that. No,
I mean, how's like after a couple days I'd want the Wi-Fi password, but that sounds kind of like a vacation.
Yeah, and it's funny. You'll see like these great survivalists that are doing amazing things, and then suddenly like, oh, I found this dead fish on the shore. It must have been there for a month. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat it. Let's find out what happens.
Yeah.
Or what's this cloudy puddle? Let's drink this. It's a well, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was one guy that was talking smack, like, oh yeah, all these other people, they ain't got what I got. And he started like doing this weird dance and he fell and broke his ankle. I was like,
my God.
That's how you do it, folks.
Wow.
Yeah, I always look at those shows like I could do that. Like I could kill a moose, butcher it, and hide it in a tree 40 feet high from wolverines. Like,
you just gotta throw beer and cigarette at the Wolverine to keep him off you.
pretty much. Yeah, one guy killed something, but he didn't have enough fat, so he got really sick and almost died. He had plenty of food, but he had no fat, and it's negative 5,000 degrees. So,
Oh yeah, you can't keep
yeah.
up with the calories, so you
Yeah.
starve yourself.
that's why I would carb load before I go out to the wilderness.
I carb load just as a general principle.
Yeah, I am always prepared to go to the wilderness.
And 0% motivated to do it.
But I'm prepared.
Prepared as fuck, but it's never gonna happen.
Okay, let's see. Stream health. Oh, poor stream health. What happened? Oh, yeah. I'll use that next time. So here, let's see if I can find anything interesting before we call it. Oh, the new Matrix movie. Did you guys see that? And how sad were you?
I saw it and
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Oh wow, that's surprising. Like I've seen nothing but bad reviews. I haven't watched it yet because I'm still working my way through 2, and that's taken me about a month now.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have to go rewatch 2, 3, the ones that
Yeah,
you may or may not recognize as actual legitimate
movies.
serials or sequels, but yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, the CGI it's bad. It is very bad. But yeah, I'm working up to it.
it answered some questions. I think that the sequels, the earlier sequels, introduced unintentionally,
Hmm.
just by like what happened in the events and the architect and all that fun stuff. Some of that gets answered and what happens, but like the opening of it is really, really good because it's a throwback to the original movie.
Hmm.
And then you find out that it's slightly different, and then you find out why it's different, and it's a good story.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I love Keanu Reeves. One of the greatest dudes on earth. Oh, John Wick.
Give me more John Wick, please.
Oh, did you?
It's coming. There's like 2 more, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But did you see the John Wick-esque movie Nobody? It has the lawyer from Better Call Saul.
Yes, I did see that.
Oh, that movie was just amazing. I loved it.
I'm trying to remember, but I don't know why I can't remember it. But yes, I remember watching it.
Yeah,
But
basically,
apparently not much else than that.
I need to watch that.
it's awesome. It's directed by the same guy that did the John Wicks, and it's kind of the same similar. It's just a completely different thing.
It was good to see the dude who plays the main character that I'm blanking on his name. It was good to see him.
Steve Oderick, right?
Bob Oderick.
Bob Oderick. Yeah.
Odenkirk. It was good to see him in a non-traditional role for him. Like he typically plays a bit of a stereotype, but he wasn't that in this movie, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and the story was just fun. Like it wasn't complex. There was no twists and turns. It was a lot like the John Wicks were like, oh look, the Russian mafia is being dumb. Let me just put them in their place. Oh, now I have to kill them all.
Right. Yeah. Very, very simple cause and effect scenarios.
Yep. And then, it's got the Wu-Tang Clan in it, so that's just a plus right off the bat. Oh, what about the new Resident Evil movie? Did you guys delve into that yet?
I have not.
I did not.
I'd never really got into so this is good. This goes back to the games that have to be easy or they don't hold my attention. I never played the Resident Evil games because they couldn't hold my attention because I was a spastic person that would rather go spend 40 hours playing Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Respect that. New Mortal Kombat movie, did you see that?
That was amazing.
Oh, that was awesome.
I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. So
yeah.
If the people who hated it, I feel like were the ones who did not know what they were getting into going into that movie. Because if you hadn't seen the original Mortal Kombat live action movie, it is horrible. All the great ways.
The second one was even more horrible, and I loved it twice as much.
Yes. Oh, it was so good. And the soundtracks were amazing. The soundtracks to those 2 movies were just incredible.
I think that's kind of the consensus for movies. You go in and if you go in with too many expectations or what you think it's going to be about and it's different and you're disappointed. And when I go to a movie, I just go to have a good time.
Yep.
And if the movie's, plausible in some ways and it's enjoyable and good writing and good acting, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'll say I liked it. Right. I think that's with the Matrix. Like a lot of people are like, oh, this was just not good. But I went in there, John Wick. I mean, give me Keanu anytime.
Yeah. A lot of the complaints I saw about Mortal Kombat was the new character they introduced, Cole. Like, he's like, what a dumb ability. Oh, like, that's not believable. It's like, not believable. Like, every character in Mortal Kombat's dumb if you think about it. Like,
I mean, right? It's like, okay, why are the other ones?
it's like, I lost my arms. I got metal ones now. Like, yeah.
Oh, it's like, well, I found the guy who. Well, the people who think that way, I found the person who who never unlocked Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 3, right? That the people who never unlocked or got all those jokes. That's the people who didn't like those movies.
Yeah. The only thing that made me sad was Reptile died, and I wanted a lot more Reptile because he was amazing.
He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think there was nearly enough Shang Tsung morphing. Or people morphing, because that was one of the coolest things about the original game, is being able to switch into any other character.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they killed off a lot of people really quickly, but luckily the universe in Mortal Kombat's big enough to where I don't feel like they backed themselves into a corner.
Right.
I really hope that there's a second one.
I mean, if they did, what are they going to do? They would just be like, well, fuck you. Here's the next installment. I mean, that's just kind of the MO they have. They don't have to do anything too over the top. I don't think. I think the audience that is going to turn up for this movie is very much of yes, we just give it to us.
Yeah. After watching that final Sub-Zero Scorpion fight, if you don't want another movie, you are a bad person.
Right. It's like, okay, just if you're boring, tell us you're boring. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's totally okay. We're all boring in different ways. Why is your
wow. I forgot I had your guys' nameplates up. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that happens.
Do we have? Oh, are they visible on your stream?
They are visible on the stream. I just turned them off for your safety.
Yeah, for the last 55 minutes that they were up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me go cut that highlight.
You notice I left my name off and made a very vague excuse why. You're welcome.
Nice.
I will live to tell your story.
I have your address in the background. It's called.
I actually do have your address because I sent you your PlayStation through my account, right?
No.
Yeah.
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 That PlayStation that I've touched maybe like 4 times.
See, that's why I don't need a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I already don't play my Series X enough. There's just not enough hours of the day to where I can just go zone out and play like Forza for hours on end.
Well, you work 4 days a week. Just go to Fiverr every day in the morning, hire someone for $10 to do your job for you. They're not going to do it good, but it'll get done.
There was a story last year where people were hiring really shitty overseas contractors to do their job, and they would essentially outsource their job. And then there was this one guy where he came out and he was like, yeah, I've been working like 5 or 6 different jobs at a time, and I just bounce from company to company. I do as little as possible, and I show up to only what I absolutely have to. And I work for like 30 days, 45 days, and they fire me. But he's getting paid $200K, $300K in some of these roles. And it's just like going in there and fucking it up and just intentionally being very like low effort. And it's like, I have seen that at places I've worked.
Yeah, I think I just fired that guy.
Right? Like when you, especially now that looking back at the pandemic, there have definitely been people that have worked at my day job that are now no longer there. That makes me wonder. Like, we did hire and we did lose some people pretty quick, but I was like, was our new hiring policy working out, or was that just like a ghost?
Yeah. And that outsourced labor is really cheap. It's not great when you get there is good outsourced labor and then there's cheap outsourced labor. So that's not a bad. Hold on, I need to write that down. Because
pay what you get for
that. What you pay for. Wife and I were talking when I retire. We're gonna probably move overseas to the Philippines, and I was like, I'll just work 5 to 10 hours a week contracting. That'll be more than enough to live on over there. But maybe I'll work 90 hours a week and outsource it all and
Right.
live in a golden helicopter out on the sea.
Right. And not have to actually do anything because
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
outsourced.
Yeah. So it'll be just like now, but I'll be getting paid way more.
And working way less, right? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, like I think I read another story about a guy who got 2 jobs, gave one to his wife to just kind of do the work, and then he just showed up to the meetings so they'd be his face.
That's incredible. And probably got paid more.
It probably got paid more than the wife
Yeah.
would have because this industry is
Yep.
awful.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's like I'm starting to teach my wife programming, and it's like, man, I'm very interested to see like what her salary trajectory is over the next 10 years versus like what I was doing in the first 10 years of my career, because there's not many women in IT, and it's probably because it's a terrible field for women.
Because men ran them all out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, this is definitely Obama's fault.
Yeah. Everything is.
All of that going to school as a young man he was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Or
Born
not
in
even being born yet.
born in Hawaii, the province of China.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Hmm.
So,
All right.
you know, it'd be mansion or cinema. It's fine. Democrats are so dysfunctional.
They all are.
It's so bad. They had the keys to the castle.
Yep.
And they were like, you think the Republicans are dumb? Hold our beers. I don't want to get into politics because I hate it,
know.
but
Yep.
I really hate American politics. Like, other people make fun of us and it makes me sad.
It's true.
All right. I think that long, sexy silence might be our cue to kind of cut this up a little bit and go our separate ways. This was fun. We had no preparation, just kind of winged it. And I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I think we peaked out at 3 viewers at one time. It was nice.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Well, I think next time I'll actually tweet it. I
So we were
totally
all
forgot.
So we
Oh,
were
yeah, I
all
didn't
watching
know.
the stream ourselves.
Yeah, it was us watching the stream, but we didn't tell anyone else about the stream.
Yeah, I did share the link, and it appears that it might be D&D night over there. So I think that might be what it is.
All right. Well, I think we talked about the cadence. I think once a month is too far apart. I'd be happy to do this every 2 weeks. That's enough time for enough news to build up, but not long enough for me to forget who you guys are.
Yeah, we can try it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, give it a shot, see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'll do random bombardments where I'll randomly invite you to a video chat, and it'll be a show, and then I'll ask you like, "Where were you?" And we'll just go from there.
Or you're just gonna quiz us on TV shows we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I now need to go watch obscure
Well,
TV
yeah.
you've never seen.
Yep. I'm gonna have to rewatch this just to remember what the hell I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah, there's one Korean show. It's about like angels tell people they're gonna die, and then demons show up and just destroy them and murder them. I don't know the name. Just take those clues, go find it, and watch it. And that's your homework.
That sounds terrifying. Actually,
It was pretty wild.
That's right. I got to go finish Big Mouth, so I'm gonna go do that.
Oh, I started over. That show's
God, it's so good.
it's so great.
Oh my gosh, I just love it.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. Like I could.
I really wish that was around when I needed it.
Oh,
I was such a dumb young person.
but now the show for you is F is for Family. Have you seen that?
That's pretty
No.
good too.
It's-
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's a great personification of our inner turmoil as adults in this world. It takes place in like the 70s, I think, 70s or 60s. But yeah, it's Big Mouth, but with adults. It's great.
Wow.
just about as raunchy.
Yeah, Bill Burr does the main voice. I love that guy. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate
Sounds
your
great.
time. Stay moist.
Plan on it.
You better.
Take care, guys.
All right.